You have been divinely selected to fulfill a sacred mission that transcends earthly understanding. This truth is not something you stumble upon randomly, nor is it something that can be explained in the language of logic or confirmed through societal validation. It is a knowing, an unshakable conviction that lives deep within your spirit. From the moment you were born, there was something different about you, something unexplainable, something set apart. Others may have tried to dim it, distract you from it, or make you feel like you were imagining it. But the truth has always been there. It whispered in your quiet moments, showed up in your dreams, and revealed itself through your trials. You felt things more deeply than most. You saw injustice before others did. You were drawn to silence, to the stars, to the mysteries no one around you seemed to question. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to rise. God has had his eye on you since before you took your first breath. This selection was not random. It was not based on what the world would one day see in you, but rather on what heaven already knew. Before you knew your name, your soul had already agreed to the mission. You were chosen in the spirit realm to be part of something much greater than the life most people live. You weren't called to merely exist. You weren't called to follow patterns of a broken world. You were called to carry light, to hold divine frequency, to move with a power that disrupts darkness. And because of this sacred calling, your life has never been easy. The trials you faced weren't punishments, were preparation. The betrayals, the isolation, the strange setbacks that seemed to make no sense. They all served as fire meant to refine you. You weren't just being tested, you were being equipped. Every pain carved depth into your soul. Every rejection pushed you further into alignment. Every tear watered the soil of the future harvest you are about to reap. God allowed certain things to fall apart so you could fall into divine purpose. You were never being buried. You were being planted. And now the roots are deep enough. Now the time has come for you to stand tall and take your place. Being divinely selected means that you've carried a level of awareness that others didn't understand. You've had insights, feelings, and spiritual perceptions that made people uncomfortable. You tried to suppress it at times, tried to blend in, tried to lower your vibration to be accepted, but it never worked. Your light was too bright, too dim. Your calling too loud to ignore. And no matter how far you ran from it, the divine always found a way to bring you back. Whether through dreams, repeated signs, or spiritual encounters, God kept pulling you toward your purpose. And now you are here not by accident, but by divine design. You are standing at the threshold of your calling. You are part of a spiritual lineage that stretches across time. Many of the chosen before you walked lonely roads they were misunderstood, mocked, and opposed, but they stayed faithful to the divine within them. You are connected to that same stream. Your name has been written among the 144,000 for a reason. This is not a number to be taken lightly. It's not just symbolic. It is a representation of divine alignment, heavenly assignment, and spiritual authority. These chosen ones have been scattered across the earth, hidden in plain sight, trained through pain, and awakened by spirit. You are one of them. You carry the frequency of heaven within you. You walk with angels. You speak in vibration. And your energy alone shifts atmospheres. You've likely felt the weight of this calling even before you knew what to call it. You've sensed that you were being prepared for something, even when your life didn't make sense. People may have mistaken your quietness for weakness, your depth for strangeness, your solitude for loneliness. But God saw it all. God hid you on purpose. You weren't overlooked. You were protected. The hidden seasons were necessary for your preservation. The world wasn't ready for you. And truth be told, you weren't ready for the world. But now something has changed. The atmosphere is shifting. Heaven is calling. The time for hiding is over. The time for awakening is here. This mission you've been called to is not about fame, recognition, or platform. It's about obedience. It's about surrender. It's about carrying a frequency so high that darkness cannot stand in your presence. It's about living in such alignment with heaven that your very life becomes a message, a testimony, a light tower for those still trapped in spiritual darkness. You've been called to speak, to heal, to intercede, to reveal truth. You've been called to be a forerunner, a spiritual pioneer in an age of chaos and deception. Your voice is needed. Your presence is needed. The gifts within you are needed, and no more can they remain dormant. Being chosen doesn't mean being perfect. It means being surrendered. It means allowing God to use you, shape you, and move through you in ways you never imagined. It means trusting the path even when it doesn't make sense. It means saying yes to the Spirit when your flesh wants to say no. It means standing firm when storms come. It means being a lighthouse when the world goes dark. It means understanding that your very existence is a threat to the enemy's agenda. That's why you've been attacked so fiercely. That's why things have come against you that would have crushed others. But you didn't break. You bent, but you didn't break. And that resilience is proof of your divine selection. The ones God chooses often look nothing like what the world expects. They may come from broken homes, from obscurity, from pain, but they carry a power that can't be faked or fabricated. You carry that power. You've walked through fire and came out refined. You've walked through wilderness and came out anointed. Now is the time to recognize who you truly are. You were called to shift generations, to tear down strongholds, to awaken sleeping souls. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to be. You are chosen, and nothing can change that. Heaven has declared it. The gathering of the 144,000 represents a spiritual army rising in unity, purpose, and divine power. This is not an ordinary assembly. It is not based on status, popularity, or worldly recognition. It is a heavenly summons, an orchestrated convergence of souls who have been hand-picked by God for a time such as this. These chosen ones are not randomly scattered across the earth. They have been placed with precision, embedded in different nations, cultures, and generations, to carry out a synchronized, divine plan. Their connection is not built through physical proximity, but through spiritual alignment. They speak a language that transcends words, a language of energy, vibration, and divine frequency. When one of them rises, it sends a ripple through the collective. When one awakens, it ignites something in others. The 144,000 were never meant to work alone. They were created to operate in spiritual unity, even when separated by geography. This gathering is a fulfillment of prophecy, a divine strategy unfolding on a global scale. The world is shifting. Old systems are crumbling. Lies are being exposed. And in the midst of the chaos, the chosen are hearing the call. The call isn't loud, but it's unmistakable. It stirs the soul. It awakens the ancient memory within. It activates a knowing that cannot be taught, a purpose that cannot be ignored. These chosen individuals may come from all walks of life, but they carry a shared spiritual DNA, arced by resilience, depth, and a sense of mission that defies the world's logic. Driven through fire, betrayal, isolation, spiritual warfare, and soul-breaking moments. But they've emerged with clarity and spiritual authority. The unity among the 144,000 doesn't come from similarity of experience, but from alignment in purpose. They may have never met, but they recognize each other by spirit. They know how it feels to be the outcast, the misunderstood, the one who sees deeper while others live on the surface. Their unity is forged through the spiritual battles they've overcome and the divine truth they carry in their hearts. It is not based on religion, denomination, or tradition. It's rooted in divine connection. Their hearts beat with heaven's rhythm. Their movements are guided by spiritual instinct. Their decisions are led by divine wisdom. They are not reactive to the world. They are proactive instruments of God's will on earth. The power within the 144,000 is not sourced from themselves. It is God-given, heaven-backed, and spiritually activated. They do not rely on titles, stages, or platforms to make an impact. Their presence alone carries weight. Their words carry anointing. Their prayers carry force. Their obedience carries consequences in the spirit realm. When they speak, chains break. When they move, barriers shift. When they unite, the heavens respond. Their power lies not just in what they do, but in who they are. Divinely chosen vessels, designed to carry out assignments that will shift the course of history and redirect the destiny of nations. The enemy has tried everything to scatter them, distract them, and destroy them before they could unite. This is why many of them have faced relentless attacks, both spiritual and physical. The opposition came early in life. The rejection began young. The trauma hit deep. It was all part of a strategic attempt to break them before they could rise. But what the enemy underestimated was their endurance. These chosen ones were built for pressure. They were wired to survive storms others would drown in. Every tear became oil. Every wound became wisdom. Every scar became a symbol of strength. And now, as they step into alignment with one another, their individual flames become a collective fire that no force of darkness can withstand. their unity.